identify you, and I might add an exclamation point here or there because I know something about what you're going to be sharing at the event. So you could say, hey, I'll pick you, Barute. Barute, I used to live in Santa Fe. I am going to be there and I'm excited. you know, this is what's important to me about what we'll be doing together, whatever you choose to share. And then I might say, and guess what? Barute was a woman who reached out to me and said, how can I help you in Santa Fe? And she, just so you know, Barute, she connected me with this amazing Native American woman who I'm speaking with next week, well, who I hope will give us a blessing at the beginning of the storytelling night and really bring us into the power of story in the Native American culture. So thank you for that. Anyway, so that's an example. I'm looking at Joy Fox. Oh my God, Joy, you just celebrated. Was it 90th birthday? Yeah. So Joy is, unfortunately, I don't think you're able to be here with us, but she will be here with us in spirit. Joy is a woman to get to know in 333. Please reach out to her. She she just came back from a solo trip to Iceland to celebrate her 90th birthday. So if you're ever going to be inspired by anyone who's living their third act, there she is. So anyway, let's start. Let's go around. Birute, why don't you get started? I sort of gave him a nod about you, but why don't you go from there?
Well, I'm new to this group. I've heard a lot about it from Diana and from Ellen. And I have devoted a big chunk of my life in supporting women and helping us all realize our collective power. And so this seemed like an opportunity for me to be part of that in a different way. And I'm particularly interested in this phase of life for women, because it's not over. It's another beginning. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and hearing your stories. That's been part of my work, is listening and writing about women's stories.
So I will also say that Birute wrote a book called Iron Butterflies, and I'm not sure. Tell me, when was that published? It was a while ago, right?
Yeah, it was 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and also a book called The Soul at Work, about people actualizing themselves in the workplace, finding their full purpose individually and collectively. So I mean, the spirit of this group is, certainly very simpatico to the things that I value most. So here I
Wonderful.
am, and looking forward to meeting people.
Well, how wonderful that we were brought together. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Gina and Louise, how are you? The 2-for-1 special.
Good. Yeah. How are you? Go ahead. No. Oh, Gina Veld, I'm in Boston, Louise. We're outside of Boston in Wellesley. And I'm really excited about Santa Fe because I've been thinking, I just got back from, I'm very jet lagged, so I will try not to fall asleep on this call. But literally my days are nights and nights are days right now. I just got back from Japan and China. But I was so curious about how culture influences creativity, and Santa Fe is magical in so many ways, and how that is going to be by just the setting itself an inspiration for ideas and friendships and all of that. So I'm really excited about it. Really excited.
Thanks. Thanks, Gina. I'm excited to see you there. And Gina and I live close enough that we try to get together every once in a while. But like, I'm all about in-person stuff, so I'm happy we'll see you,
Can I say,
Louise.
I just saw something that said that's a boomer thing because the younger generation don't think it's necessary. And I think it's so important. But that's one of the demarcations in the workplace. Like who makes phone
Oh.
calls, who texts, who wants to have in-person meetings, who wants to do it by Slack.
Children, how do you get?
Yeah.
You don't call them, you
Yeah.
text them. No, I'm not so good at that. But the opportunity at this meeting to learn how we can contribute. I mean, that's, through storytelling, that's just is fantastic, to meet a wonderful group of people to figure out how we're all so different. I mean, Gene and I are dear friends and very different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And, separate from this event, in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, I'm going to launch the AHA Story Gathering, which means I've created a little mini guide on, what it is, how you figure your AHAs out. And I want to collect a bunch of stories. So even if people aren't coming to the event, I'm going to start collecting stories and recording videos. Joy Fox, who's up in Vancouver area, is going to be one of my first, because I really believe we need each other's stories to not just inspire us, but to connect us. And despite differences, to see where there are other threads of possibility to know someone, and especially at this time of life, in this backdrop of the world, it's really important to feel that level of deeper connection. And I think by opening up with story, we do that. So that's why I'm so excited about it. But thank you. Jen.
Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to meet and see everyone. I live in a magical town, San Miguel de Allende, in the central Mexico. Many of you may have heard of it, and some of you may have even visited. Um, Diana and I just recently got connected, I guess about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but there's just such an alignment. I've zigged and zagged my whole life. I don't know if those are aha moments or just like, well, geez, let's say yes to the universe and see what happens next kind of thing, because that works too. But at my core, kind of the notions of values, visibility, and power have always been essential to what I do. And since turning 59 and the world decided I was old, I got annoyed. And so I reacted strongly and have since written 2 books and 2 decks of oracle cards for women our age to age in power, speaking our age, like really using age as a tool rather than what society is telling us. So again, you can see that Diana and I align very well, and I am so thrilled to be attending Santa Fe and hang out with like-minded women and just kind of energize each other so that we can go out and back into our worlds specifically and do more.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. You know what it's like when, like, I look around this room, and every single one of you, I felt that the kind of connection with that I felt with Jen when I first met her. It was like, okay, yeah, I get you. We know each other. And
Yep.
so I already skipped ahead. And so, keep your minds up. We're even talking about, I've always wanted to bring a group of women to San Miguel. So I'm like, oh man. So we may even do that. We're looking at next November. So keep that
Yep.
on your docket.
Keep it in pencil.
So I also want to just say that Gina will be sharing an aha story, as will Jen. We haven't all sat down and really dug into it. We have a number of months, but I just wanted to note that as well. Thank you. Amy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Collette, and I'm lucky enough to be pretty close to Santa Fe. I mean, drivable. I'm in Denver area, and so I've gotten to spend a lot of time in Santa Fe, and I'm always drawn by the magic and the history there. So anytime you hear history, there's story in it, right?
Absolutely.
So I think what's fun about that is when we tell stories, we're digging into our own histories a little bit and we're sharing some part of ourselves. We're letting a little bit of our light shine out there so that other people can see us, but they're also reflected in our light, right? And sometimes those connections happen like you mentioned, Diana, where you have that sort of instant connection like you had with Jen. And that happens because you see each other or you see yourself in their story. And that's just magical. That's what I'm really looking forward to in Santa Fe is hearing stories. and sharing that energy, because that's how we really connect. That's how we've connected since we were cave women, right? So I'll be teaching, I'll be facilitating a full day workshop, and we'll be talking about uh, our past a little bit, re-examining our history to see what we want to release and let go of, and what we want to take into our new script, our new chapter in this time in our lives.
Amy works with women who, uh, um, you say, unleash your inner
Author.
author, yes,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
you also focus on women who want to make an impact by the stories they share. So it
exactly.
isn't just, oh, I want to tell a crazy, love story necessarily, unless there's a reason, a why behind it, which is why I love what you do. So thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
Jack. Jacqueline to everybody else, but I'll call her Jack.
Love. I'm Jacqueline Perez, and I run a platform and business called Cool Life, which is a digital platform dedicated to normalizing aging. And what started as a collaboration relationship with Diana Place quickly morphed into a very intimate, deep, lifetime friendship. And she's a gift, but what she provided at Quest 2024, I walked away with many gifts that I still carry with me today. Many. A soul sister. I think she's referring to me as the person who ended up becoming an author because
Yes.
experience at Quest. I'm assuming you were alluding to me. So
Yeah.
if I got just those gifts last time, not really being prepared, not really being open, not really fully engaging my second hemisphere, my side of the brain, what can I walk away with this time when I'm more intentional about it?
Wow.
So it's kind of a no-brainer.
So Jack, and you may have seen because she is active on 333 every once in a while. We'll post her poetry. She has a book called Metamorphosis in Stanzas. So here's a woman who had never written a book, who'd never written poetry, who wrote a book of poetry. So yeah, one of the things we did at the end of Quest in Rhode Island, which like blew my mind how much fun it was. I got Parks and Rec in Bristol, Rhode Island to let us bury or plant a cherry tree. And in the root of the cherry tree, we all stood around it in a circle and we had these little pieces of paper where we wrote our dreams. I said, this is our dream tree. And we threw it in the root ball and we all celebrated and we went off. And Jack is one of the people of many that come to me and said, oh, yeah, you know what I wrote? One of them is Victoria Gonan, who's not here tonight, but she lives in Santa Fe. She goes, I wrote I was going to move to Santa Fe, and now I'm in Santa Fe. So there's when we're on the threshold of a new thing, it's always good to put it out there. And I sent in my newsletter, I don't know if you saw it, Jack, a picture of our tree that Jen Puccetti, one of our members, sent me. It's thriving. It's beautiful. Thanks for your your fertilizer.
I love that tree. That tree fertilized right back.
Awesome. Great to see you, my dear. And here we are with Christina. Hi.
Oh, I'm usually calling in from Washington, D.C., but I am in San Juan, Puerto Rico on my balcony here
Woo!
on the cruise ship.
Oh my God, how cool is that?
So, oh my goodness, I am so excited about Quest. I've watched the videos more than once, and having the opportunity with my Women Getting Visible in October to meet the 3-3 ladies in person. One of the things, just like there and just like this coming up, is going, you're real. I can hug you. I can hold your hand. I'm so excited to share that moment. And I mean, there's so many powerful minds here in this Zoom room, and then the creativity, like Gina referred to, that's going to pop out as we are all together, and just that inspiration. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Wonderful. Now, I've asked Christina to not only share her aha story of how she went from made her transition into women getting visible, but she's also going to sort of be our MC moderator for the first afternoon of story, which is around third act impact stories. And so we haven't finalized the whole lineup of storytellers there, but Christina is a natural as a presenter. So we're going to hear her story and also get to see her in action. So thanks, Christina. Have fun on your cruise. That's really cool. Zante.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Xanthi. I'm actually calling in from Sydney, Australia, but I live in France. I'm super excited for Quest. I joined 333 2 years ago as I was embarking on a major change in my life, which is still happening. Stories, I believe, are absolutely at the heart of being human. The process of writing and reflecting on lived experience and making meaning and making sense of that is just incredibly powerful and cathartic. And then sharing those stories, feeling heard, feeling like you have a voice is incredibly important as well. So for me, storytelling, aha, 333, the collective of women joining arms and being together and holding each other is just absolutely critical. So everything about this I love.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. Yeah, I think, everyone has of moments in our lives where the time is right to jump in, and you certainly did. She used to get on our weekly writing calls at like 5:30 in the morning her time, so like I'm glad you're here. Thank you. We can't wait to see you there. Maria. I've known Maria forever too, just sort of like in the Jack, both Jack and Maria and Gina, I believe. Yeah, I think that's looking at all of them. I think maybe Jeannie too were some of our first third act storytellers when we did it on Zoom during COVID. So that's, great that we're still all connected.
Yeah, I'm Maria. I'm in Washington, D.C. I'm a lawyer here, but also a podcaster. I've had 4 of you on my podcast so
Ah.
far, and probably at some point we'll have every single one of you on it. In that podcast, I interview inspiring women and I ask them all the question, what do you do to become your best version? And in 5 years of weekly podcasts, I've never gotten the same answer. So it's a selfish endeavor because I'm collecting these answers and I put them in an ebook every other year. But I'm also a mentor to women in recovery. I'm 13 years sober. I am a journalist and an author and a TEDx speaker. I just did my second TEDx speaker speech, and I gave some of you at Christina's event a practice session, and it went really well. No stumbling at all. It should be live soon online. And the last 2 years ago, this event in near Newport was just so uplifting. Like every woman there was kind and supportive and looking for ways to help each other. And that is not something in the legal field that I'm accustomed to, but I am in the mini communities here. Like Jack has this beautiful Cool Life community. Christina has this women getting visible community. Everyone here is doing something that has a ripple effect in our world to make it a better place. And I want to continue that. And plus, I've never been to Santa Fe, so I'll go. I've been to 72 countries and I'm trying to go to every country in the world and every state. And New Mexico happens to be one of the states I've never visited. So,
Wow. Well, I encourage any of you that are coming or thinking about coming to come early and stay late. We start on the 11th, that's Sunday night. We're going to have a dinner. But, come early to acclimate. The altitude isn't too intense, but it makes sense to come early to acclimate and stay as long as you can. One of the things we'll do too is I was just actually speaking with Kate Higgins earlier today, and we were talking about places. And Jode Brexa, who you'll hear just well, lives in Santa Fe when she's not traveling the world, but there's so many cool museums and sites and hikes and Audubon. And we were talking about Thousand Waves, which is an incredible Japanese spa up in the mountains. Just such magic. And I'm not going to tell you the history if you don't already know it of La Fonda, but that's part of the reason I chose it. And I'm just going to leave a little cliffhanger here. When I met with the people there, and I said, like, tell me the deal. And they say, well, we like to think of ourselves as the site of the women's movement. And I'm like, okay, so figure that one out. I'll fill you in a little bit later on that. So Gail, thanks, Maria. Gail.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I'm Gail Petrillo. I'm in Tucson, Arizona. I love Santa Fe. Can't get there often enough. So I'm so excited to go back and be a storyteller. And Jack and I go back several years. I just met Diana and Christina in Washington and Maria. And that was such an amazing time and event to open up, to share our stories, to share our lives, to listen to other people, to support one another in so many different ways. And so I'm really looking forward to, like you all said, hug and share and just enjoy each other's time together. And I don't know, it's just, I took so much away from DC. It can only get bigger and better from there. And so I'm really looking forward to that.
Wonderful, Gail. And in the upcoming month, we're going to all be learning more about, once people that are speaking will be uploading all their bio information. One of the things about 333 Women is that they're a very creative and productive group. So at the event, we have a really beautiful room that will divide in half, and half of the room will be where we'll get food and stuff, but it'll also be where we'll have tables of the books that the women of 333 have authored. We'll have podcaster feature. It'll be like, the 333 Women's celebration of what you're doing will be on display. So it'll be there the whole days we're there. So we'll be able to get to know each other through what we're creating also. And so wonderful. I'm so excited we did connect. Jack, thanks for putting us together. Joy.
Yes.
Tell us about you.
Oh, I don't know where to start actually, but when you're talking about aha moments, I think my first one was when I sold the ring and went to Italy and came back a different person.
Oh.
So now I'm working with an editor and writing about all this stuff. And so I'm very emotional these days because everything is bubbling up to the surface that, well, the past is, I've let it go, but sort of reliving it. And certain things came up because the girl who's editing, she interviewed me and asked me about moments that had changed my life. And that was the first one because I went away brokenhearted and miserable and came back confident and ready to travel again. And that just opened up something in me that has not yet died. So I'm still keeping that going. But there was another moment in 1970 when I was actually pregnant with my third child. And I have never told anybody this, so I'm telling everybody here because I trust everybody, and it's in the book anyway. So, but my husband decided he wanted some alone time, and I had a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 3-month-old baby. So I bought a house over the phone in England and went back to England, lived there 3 years. And that was when I really learned that I was an independent woman. And I could do what I wanted with my life. And I eventually came back to Canada. We got back together, but it was always me after that that made all the decisions. I decided what houses we would buy. I decorated them. I looked after the garden. I looked after all of the finances of buying and selling, and I sold every house that we lived in. And I'm still doing that now. This is the last house I live in, but I moved when I was 80, you know, after he died, and I just came to a new community and reinvented myself. And that was another aha moment because I should have done it a lot sooner. But I did it, and I'm just thrilled that you found me, and I'm thrilled that I found you. And I wish with all my heart that I could be in Santa Fe. It's a wonderful place. I love it, but I'm just a little anxious about crossing borders right now. So
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So in the upcoming weeks also, I want you to know more, especially, you know, those of you that haven't read Joy's, the story you mentioned, Selling the Ring. I first read a BBC article about Joy, and
that was the first one
yeah.
that went viral. And actually, the title of my book is Finding Joy. Life started when I pawned the ring. So it really did. It's the truth. I was a different person before I went to Italy, and, you know, meeting that young man, Luigi, and he was so kind and gentle. And I thought, there are good people in the world, you know, and I just came back a totally different person. It was a wonderful relationship, and I still have everything he ever gave me in those 2 weeks I was away. I've got the painting he did, which will be on the cover of the book.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it was a lovely story, and I've kind of gone on from there and just kept living life to the fullest. And I totally believe that life doesn't end because you're 65 or 70, and you gotta ignore those. And I have friends who say, "Well, I'm 80, and I probably shouldn't be doing this," and I say, "Oh, bugger that, yeah, philosophy." You do what you feel you can do. The only thing that's going to stop you is if your body says no. But even then, there are ways to do it, even if your body says no. So do what you want and make life as, you know, as good as you can make it, and love yourself so you can love everybody else. And, you know, life is great if you just look at it in a different way and not let age get in the way. And a lot of people do let age get in the way. And I don't want anybody telling me you look good for your age, because I am my age. Yeah, I am. My heart is still 50 years old. I can't help it if the body's falling apart, but I think if you laugh a lot and have fun, you know, why should you look your age? And I hate it when people say that. And I don't want anybody to call me dear either, okay? You'll find a lot, when people come and do jobs for you, especially if they're young men, they say, "Would you like me to do this, dear?" And I look at them and say, "Is that like I'm an old dear?" And they don't say it anymore, man. So yeah, life is to be lived.
Yeah. Well, your name was given and you lived into it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I got to thank my mum for that. I have to live up to it, especially now. You know, all these signs are saying joy everywhere, and I saw a big one that would have fit on my driveway. It was about 4 feet tall, and it's just the words joy, and they're all sparkly. And I thought, if I could afford it, I'd buy that sucker and stick it up the driveway. But I'm into downsizing Christmas a bit now, so I didn't do it.
Somehow I got muted. So wonderful to see you, my dear.
Lovely to see you too, and everybody else.
Tanya.
Tanya, hi.
Hi, Gina. Hi, everybody. I see so many familiar faces. I, especially right now, sitting here seeing everybody talk about it, I am more excited than I ever was, even though I was already over the moon about going to Santa Fe. Yeah, now this kind of energy is exactly what I'm looking forward to being surrounded by, and meeting everybody in person. It's going to be just a total joy. I'm so excited. And I couldn't agree with you more, Joy, that when they say you look great for your age, it's kind of a backhanded compliment. I'm like, no, I just look great. Can we just end the sentence there?
Great.
Because that's a bunch of bullshit if you ask me. Anyway, I am going to be sharing my story on the second night. I'm very excited to share it. And I have so many stories. I keep thinking, which one should I tell? Um, so yeah, I'm just excited to be there and to be able to share and participate and download that energy so that it just constantly resonates in me. Because every time I'm on a call with 333 women, it just the best day I've ever had
No,
because
love
I
that.
get to connect with these amazing women who, share, we all share kind of the same core mission. And I think for me, my collective and my personal core values are aligned um, with racial and gender equality and equity. And so that's part of my mission in my business is to help women get visible so that we can make more money and become financially independent, whether we have a partner or not. Something I learned during my divorce was I had kind of gotten on my heels about my career because we had enough. We were comfortable. I could travel the way I wanted to. We owned a house. I mean, not a huge life or a huge house or anything like that. But and I would never, even if I had all the money in the world, I would never buy a huge house or be very extravagant. It's just not in my core nature. But I learned that, yeah, I was not financially independent. And I already kind of knew that, but it was a hard lesson to learn. And so now it's been a core mission in my business is to make sure women are front and center in front of their businesses so that they can be visible, so that they can grow their own bottom line so that they can live independently. Because I think things like Amway and Tupperware and things like that when I was growing up, those multi-level marketing helped women get out of horrible situations, bad marriages, abusive marriages. And, we need to be financially on our own so that we don't need a man. I want a man, but I don't want to need a man. And so that's kind of a big part of what I tried to pour myself into. So yeah, I'm excited.
Me
Thrilled.
too. One of the
Yeah.
things I knew Tanya back in the early
Early 90s.
90s in
I
Boston.
was 21,
You were just
22
a
maybe.
baby, and I was in my young 30s. So, like,
Yeah.
wow, it's just been wonderful to reconnect with you. And one of the things that I'm just thinking, many of you already know Tanya because she's a part of our Move the Ball sessions and she comes to a number of our gatherings, but she's a really gifted photographer. And so one of the things I encourage all of us to do, as I look around the room, we're all in the 333 collective. So you all have access to be able to check into each other's profiles, learn more, and reach out one-on-one. You do not need to be in a Zoom with a group to interact, of course. And I encourage you, I'm like I do this on LinkedIn to meet fascinating people.
Mhm.
Like I just met Jen. That's the power of this. But as we in 333 get to know each other more, I was saying this to a person the other day. This is a safe place to be. It's a place where we're safe. The algorithms aren't
Mhm.
limiting what we can say to each other. Nobody's snooping on us. And one of the things that scares me more than anything in the social media world is that Facebook is even snooping on instant messaging that we're doing
Mhm.
in our private
Wow.
groups in Facebook. So 333 becomes even more important to me, and I think to all of us
Mhm.
to get to know each other, like each other, trust each other, but know nothing's intruding in us. Anyway, so I
I
use
just have
that.
one
Yeah,
thing
go
to
for it.
add to. I'm also a podcaster and I tell women's story. I want women to come on and share their aha moments, as she calls it. I call it sharing your stories of resiliency. And so anybody who wants to be a guest, please hit me up, send me your email via private chat, and would love to host any of you and talk to you about your stories. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm looking around the room. We have authors, we have podcasters, and everybody. Maria, like, has already interviewed four of the women on this call alone. So I think that's really the name of the game too, is that we're here to support each other and share each other's gifts, you know. So thanks, Tanya. Ellen. I can't hear you. Yeah, it's your earbuds. You have to select your audio source, I believe.
Got it again.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Hi, everybody. Most of you lovelies I've met in person. Only maybe 4 or 5 I have not. It's nice to meet you. I'm Ellen from New Hampshire. I listen to stories pretty much every day of my life because I work as an esthetician, which is basically another word for psychologist. No, I'm not. A lot of stuff that people like to vent about, you know, in a small room where things don't go anywhere. I'm always forever curious about people's life stories, and Santa Fe sounds amazing. I don't know if you remember me from Bristol. I was Diana's right hand there a little bit. I love well, I say red hand. I had my hand in a cast because I had surgery, so I was her left hand. Palpable, and we were just giddy with excitement being there, and I'm so happy to repeat that in Santa Fe. I'll be again helping Diana out with how things look and how things flow. So that I love doing that. But I'm also really looking to hear people's stories, and I'm reading Brene Brown's latest book. Thank you, Diana, for that suggestion. He's talking about rethinking, and I realize how much I don't think outside of the box. I'm pretty much a rule follower and somebody who likes to just do things as I know them. So now I'm really excited to kind of think things and start, getting some ideas from others, and hopefully getting a really cool third act in the planning. So.
Oh, you're on the way, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just will say in front of everyone how grateful I am for you.
Thank you. And I'm grateful for you. And look at this. I mean, look at listen to what people have to say, about Quest and about the energy, but also about you and bringing these people together.
Wow, it's a gift to know you all. Yeah, it's really pretty wonderful, isn't it?
Unreal. Look, it sounds and seems that we all need it. So thank you for putting us together.
Yay. Thanks, Ellen. Jode, are you still in Cambodia? Because I don't know what time it is for you either, but thanks for being here.
Yeah, good morning. It's 6 a.m. here, 12-hour difference, and I'm in Siem Reap for a couple months. But my home base is Santa Fe, and I'm looking forward to returning in the spring so that I'm there for Quest 2026. I've been supporting story work for about 15 years in groups and one-to-one in a narrative-based approach using digital storytelling, which is combining your voice and images and music into 3-minute multimedia pieces. And looking forward to sharing that approach with Zante Galenko, who's my colleague and friend and the co-lead for the workshop that will be shaping for the event. I turned 70 this year, and I've traveled the world and written for 50 years, and they've stayed in boxes. The stories have stayed in boxes and in folders and on those blue aerograms that existed one time in our communicative history. And I decided to make a commitment to bringing my stories out. I hear the theme of visibility in our collective here, and I am committed to becoming visible. So I'm writing, and I'm in Cambodia to do that. And I spent a month in Zante's apartment in France writing, and I'm exploring my third act with a pen and a page. And what I want to invite is anyone, we all have these stories, and anyone who's kept their story hidden or underground, germinating for weeks or months or years or decades, as I have, I want to invite emergence and bringing stories into the light.
Oh, it's beautiful, Jode. I'm really thrilled for you, and really excited that we met. And last April when I went to Santa Fe, I was going to have a retreat there, and I know you remember, Maria, because you were signed up to come, and I ended up having to cancel it because not enough folks did. But I was blessed to meet Jode, and I had a gathering at my little Airbnb and was all excited. And when I got back from the grocery store, I realized that I shouldn't have gone hiking in 100-degree weather without water and had 2 margaritas the day before, because altitude sickness nailed me. So Jode, who I didn't even know, comes over to my house on her bike with his whole, mothership of, coconut water and hydration stuff. So I'm just blessed that we got to know you. So thanks for being here. Kate.
Hi, I know a lot of people on this call, but not everybody. For the people who I don't know, hello, I'm Kate. I was at Bristol 2 years ago. I went on a total whim, and I'm so glad I did. My message is under that tree, and I'm actually bringing it to fruition at Santa Fe. I'm going to be leading a workshop. I'm really excited to be leading, called Craft Your Crown, which is part reflection, part art making, and part ceremony. And I will be guiding women through 4 archetypal phases. I'm a therapist and coach. My specialty is midlife women, but I believe we all pass through, maybe more than once, a maiden phase, a mother phase, an empress phase, and a crone phase. And I'm really, really excited to be doing this. So I'll be guiding women literally through making a crown, and there'll be a crowning ceremony and a portrait. And I'm super, super excited. I just led this workshop this past weekend, and it was really beautiful. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to do it.
So I don't know if you noticed up in the far right corner, Wonder Crone's
I
nodding
did.
her head.
Yes, I'm very excited to meet Wonder Crone. Oh, yes, thank you, Gail. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. It's going to be beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, Kate. Barb, hi.
Hi, I'm so in awe of all the women here. I'm Barb Scala, and I'm coming in from Connecticut, and met Diana down in DC, as I did several of these wonderful women at Christina's Women Getting Visible event. So, but I knew Diana from some other life or something. And it's so funny, Diane. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I said, no, I knew she was tall. I knew Diana was tall. And she said, yeah. Oh, I know, it was Donna. And she said, yeah, no, I just met Diana. She's tall. And I said, I just knew it. I just know she is. Anyways, the women here, have the collective energy that are amazing. And I was supposed to be in the Rhode Island event, but my daughter had her baby early, and I had to run down to DC, and I was with that child all day today. I didn't realize I was on today, and they show up at my house at like 9:30 this morning, and she's
Wow.
a year and a half now, and it's just such an amazing joy. But well, what I'm jazzed about is the value we all bring to the table. I work, I'm like the Bloom woman. That's my brand, Bloom, helping women bloom. And knowing that I hear so often I feel I'm unworthy. I feel, what value can I bring? I see women underpricing themselves, undervaluing themselves. And these are usually accomplished and high achieving women. And so I'm taking a deep dive in like that imposter syndrome, playing small, not being visible, that whole world of self-doubt and fear, and helping women bloom bloom from that. And it's amazing that when I'm working with them, how they do start to light up and start to unfold and bloom, from sprouting to budding to blossoming. We all have journeys, and I've had my own story of stops and starts. I'm an attorney as well, and so I always had that little voice inside of me saying that, you know, there's something more, there's something more. And I literally had to pry myself out of that world to transform and transition into what I'm doing now. And it's a journey, and I enjoy it, and I help women make you know, pivots as well. So everyone here is, you know, I just feel the energy. I'm so going to be so excited to be in Santa Fe, and such a magical place. I have not been there myself. I've been in the whole Arizona, Red Rocks area and everything like that, where Gail's from.
It's
But
fantastically
I know
beautiful.
it actually, during the pandemic, it was one of my places I wanted to go and hunker down for a couple of months, and I didn't. I went elsewhere, but it's been on my list.
Well,
And
baby, there you go. April is going to be really, it's not like going to be super hot. It's not going to be super cold. It might snow, but it might be 75, 80 degrees, right, Joe? So it's all it's going to
that's
be
okay. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out, am I coming in early, and am I staying a few days later? And
Yes.
maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that, which way to go on that, and which
Yes,
way,
I
you know,
will.
we're going to have
I
some
just
events before or after.
absolutely. One of the things, for those of you that have already registered, there's a page that's going to be evergreen there that you may have seen, that talks about transportation, the hotel, and all that kind of stuff. I will be feeding information out along the way to those that want to come early, that may want to connect. We're going to try to figure out, you know, I'm going to get with Ellen to help figure out how to connect, and like, do you want to have a ride with me? I'm renting a car. When are you coming in? I mean, there are lots of things we'll do. And the other is suggestions. I have, you know, we've got Jode as our resident expert, but a couple of Victoria Gonan has already given me a curated list of things that people might want to do. So yeah, I do encourage you to come early and stay late. Beautiful. Anita, so we've got Anita, Jeannie, and Teresa, and I want to make sure we hear from each of you. And thanks for being patient. This has been, I think, a really fun way to get to know each other. So hi, Anita.
Hello all. So I'll be quick. I know it's just like the energy. It's like I feel so supported and like curious about everybody and excited because they're excited about what they're doing. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm really sorry that I didn't go a couple of years to go to Bristol. It's one of my, I really wish I had done that for many, many reasons kind of thing. I've been to Santa Fe. It is quite wonderful. If you're an art lover, you've really come to the right place. If you like buying turquoise and silver and kind of going out and exploring different indigenous communities that you wouldn't otherwise be at, the integration of different kind of types of societies. It's quite remarkable. You know, it really, really is. And so in mine, I think what we've talked about is that there's going to be a panel. I guess maybe Christine, you're going to be moderating it, you know, one evening. And so I've been thinking about what I want to present. And I think the main thing for me is kind of like this through line of like how you kind of look through the through line in your life. And then at this moment, kind of look at those things again. And what are the things you want to continue, and what are the new values, and what are the new situations in your life that you are kind of adapting to, you know, but that feels very authentic and very, you know, true. So I can speak about that in general. And then hopefully this travel service that I'm working on will be a manifestation and will actually be like real viable, you know, operating, you know, by that. And I just think people's stories are quite amazing. And then the last thing I'll say is that while I'm extrovert, I can have a conversation with anybody kind of about anything. I don't, this idea of kind of stepping into myself and making myself more visible in the sense of I have something that I really want to say. I can be up here and talk a story about resilience. I can be up here and demonstrate X. You know, I see people and I learn about it and all that kind of stuff, but I can embody that too. So this feels like an opportunity to kind of make
Wonderful.
myself do that.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, Anita. And one of the things that just reminds me of, I'll be filling in more of the details of what we're doing on the website. There's a little bit of an agenda, but the Wednesday, which is a half day morning, for all intents and purposes right now, I'm calling it a little bit of show and tell, and it will be a combination of women sharing what they did in the workshop the day before. If they were in a memoir writing or writing, they'd read something. If they were if they crafted a crown, they wear it in. If they, so we're going to do a little show and tell, but I'm also, as I say, I'm creating this aha moment guide of how to tell a 5 to 8 minute aha story, very specific, crystallized moment that changed your direction or affirmed your identity or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to, for those that didn't stand on the stage or in the panel or the group on the first day, it'll be like an open mic. And we'll get people to line up and share their stories because I think everyone will hopefully be over this time digging in and picking some of those gems out to share. So anyway, but thanks, Anita. It's great to see you. Jeannie.
Oh my gosh. I am just wowed by the crowd. So yes, I am Jeannie Demers and I am in Walpole, New Hampshire. And I just want to really reiterate that, Diana, you're amazing that you bring together this kind of a group of women. So thank you for being who you are and making this, what we're experiencing, possible. Just a little bit like I feel like, well, what do I do? And I do tapping, EFT tapping, and I use it to help people to get through obstacles and resistance because that seems to be the material of my life. But before I did that, story-wise, I used the hero's journey story structure, and I worked with girls to help them find, shape, and share their great girl voices. And so it kind of feels like it's coming around again, and we're grown-up girls, but we do have stories to find, shape, and share. And it sounds like that's what the aha structure really allows for.
Oh, I love find, shape, and share. I'm going to steal that if you don't mind.
Please.
Love it. So Jeannie led an experience today that in our Quest Year group that was mind-bending and powerful. And as I texted you after, we were talking about what she'd be doing in the day one. And I think it's a version of that. For those that are sitting in the room and have never tapped before and may think it's a little out there, they will leave the session going, okay, now I get it. So it's exciting. Teresa, nice to see you.
Hey everyone. Yeah, sorry, my lighting is terrible here. I didn't want to make everybody look. But I'm Teresa Lysam, and I am actually part of a partnership with Diane Amelia Reed, who could not come tonight. But we're going to be leading a workshop on that second day called Strong Enough to Rise, Rewriting Your Story of Strength. And it's been so inspiring hearing everybody. And I'm so excited to be in person and just be in the energy of so many empowered and impactful women. I haven't been to an in-person retreat since before COVID. So I know when women come together, it's really, really powerful. And it's our time to take over the world anyway. So this is just going to be a piece of that. So thank you so much. Will truly be an honor to mix and mingle with everybody and meet in person. I can't wait to meet Diane. I can't wait to meet Amy and my partner, Diane Amelia Reed. We've never met in person. We've done everything online.
That's pretty intense. Yeah.
So
Diane Amelia is also living in Mexico, Jen.
Yes.
Not too close to San Miguel, but you'll love her as well. So Ding, ding, ding. We hit our hour as if on cue, but I don't want to say goodbye if there's anyone that wants to say anything else or anyone that has a question. One of the things for those of you that are speaking or leading a workshop, I will be feeding you without overwhelming, hopefully, a number of things. I sent you all a speaker dashboard, and a couple of you haven't gotten your dashboard yet. It's coming. But basically, that's going to be your go-to place to coordinate a number of things. We'll be having more of these sessions, especially as more and more women are signed up to come join us. We'll have these. I think it's important to, if you don't know anybody, let's say, Kate, you came on a whim and you didn't know anyone, this kind of session I think would have been really fun for you to feel like when you walked into that room, you weren't a complete, stranger. Although one of the things you said to me was so powerful. You said, it just took like 5 seconds, and the first woman that walked up to you just made you feel completely welcome. So, but anyway, we'll be having a lot of these things, and I've interviewed a majority of you. I had a little request for a 15-minute 3-question interview. We asked the question, what happens when women gather? What is an aha? And thirdly, why should women come? I'm going to be masterminding little promotional videos using little nuggets of what you shared. That to me is the real meaningful way to share this event with people. It isn't me sitting up there telling people why they should come. It's going to be all of you. And that's what a collective is. It's our collective voice, our collective gifts that we're sharing with each other and the attendees in the group. So does anybody have another question? Otherwise, I'll let you go have something to eat, chill out for the evening, or Jode, and we lost something. Jode, start your day. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's midday for me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, anybody, just email me if you have any questions or message me on 333. Mwah. Love to you all.
Yeah, and then I have to, how do I
I
do?
see you.
I'm just trying to figure out how to turn this off because
You're not going to be able to turn it off. No, I'm just kidding. I will say, Louise, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too,
We're going to
Diane.
have a great time.
I'm looking forward to it, yes.
Oh,
And I'll see you tomorrow because we're doing our thing tomorrow.
yeah. So how are you?
I'm like,
She's in pain.
Yeah, I'm in pain.
Jesus.
And I'm really tired. I'm awake at night and I could sleep right now, and I'm trying to get through the thing.
It's very hard. That's a really tough
lag.
time change. Yeah.
The jet lag's been tough.
I used to travel to Hong Kong a lot when I was younger, and I was young and my body was young, but I still would wake up at like 3 in the morning and go, I want some popcorn,
Yeah. No, I have a really good jet lag trip for all the trips I did to Dubai, and I've been to China. Nothing's working for any of us. Tony's awake at night. Hindel and I were texting in the middle of the night last night. It's for something's weird with this trip.
And what was your trip? It was to take
you take melatonin for 3 days every time you're going to go to sleep, and then before you leave, if you're going to nap on the plane, and when you get there, and then you do it in reverse. And when I went to teach in China for Harvard, it worked like a dream. I wasn't foggy. I was clear. It worked. I came home, but this trip just took something out of us.
Well, you've also had, some trauma with your ankle.
Oh, I know.
Then your fall over there. I mean, that's hard.
It's painful. Pain takes a lot out of you, actually. It's really, Anyway.
Well, also, Mercury is in retrograde in a big way.
Yeah.
I've had so many snafus. So blame it all on Mercury, okay? Mwah. Take good care. Have a good night.
I have to ask you a quick question. Did I meet Tanya through you?
Yeah. I sent her to you. I sent her to you.
I haven't seen her since I interviewed her, and I'm waiting for the new cover for my book, and I'm going to send it to all the people I interviewed. But I was very happy to see her.
She is She is like you interviewed her. She's pretty
Yeah.
remarkable. She's a
Yeah.
remarkable human. But you need to be on her podcast.
Yeah, that would be
Her
great.
podcast is
You know,
called
and I'm
And all she has to do is talk to her. I mean, that's
Right,
know,
right.
But I'm trying to decide now because I'm doing a number of other things. But should I hold until the book comes out and then there's more of its
Yeah.
own things? I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, let me just tell you, some podcasters record way ahead of time.
Yeah.
And, I know one woman who will record like 20 and then load up 6 months in the future. So
Yeah.
what you should do is reach out to Tanya and just
Well, I have to reach out about the book because she was so generous with her story. I really enjoyed talking to her, and I was
well,
so
go
excited.
look on her website and look at her podcast because her first episode is
Yeah.
her story. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Anyway, all right, we're gonna go.
good to
Good
see you.
to see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yay.
Okay.
Take good care.
Take-
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.